Hi, and thank you for joining us today on the Road to Recovery. I'm your host, Ronda Jackson, serial entrepreneur and small business advocate. And we have the precious, precious people in our lives that we call family, team members that have worked with us for years and years and years. And some of us in our home-based businesses call those people family members. Others of us have them as an HR resource, right? Human capital. We spent the week discussing the funding options that are available in the city, the grants and things like that. And now what do we do with the people? So I have invited our guest expert today, Miss Kunya Nix of Nix Consulting, to join us. Hi, Kunya. Thank you for being here.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Oh, of course, of course. Kunya, welcome. Are you okay? Are you safe? Are you sheltered in place?
I'm well and healthy. Yes, I am.
Okay.
Staying home and safe.
Good, good, good. Do you mind sharing? I know that you have a lot of experience in this industry and field. Just the state of the world today. What's one word that comes to your mind about where we are on the road to recovery?
I would say ever changing.
Oh,
We're at a time where everything is changing around us and a time of development and inventing. So I would say ever changing.
ever changing. Okay. And how's Nix Consulting? Do you mind sharing a little bit about your business and the people you serve in our community?
Great. Yes. So again, I am Kunya, founder and owner of Nix Consulting Los Angeles. We are a boutique consulting firm that has helped business owners for 10 plus years and small to mid-sized businesses with their payroll solutions, customized HR services, as well as employee benefits.
Okay, very good. Well, thank you. And with that level of expertise, we can move into our conversation about HR, about human resources. Are you comfortable with that?
Yes, let's
Okay.
get to it.
I got an email from you that you were going to share some wonderful tips to us on how to manage our benefit packages. So for those of us that offer, I guess, can you describe what's considered a benefit?
Sure. I wanted to touch base on employer-sponsored benefits. There's been a lot of talk in the media about health and medical insurance is really important at this time. So I wanted to talk about employer-sponsored medical benefits, as well as your ancillary benefits, your dental, vision, and even touch base on 401k contributions.
Oh, very good, very good. So then of those tips, which one would you say is the most important? Which one would you start with today?
Of course, I'm going to start with and really touch base on medical benefits, and we're talking employer level. So we're going to talk about employer contributions, working with the carriers today, as well as being flexible and making changes to your employee benefit package or your financial packages.
Oh, so flexibility. So I'm not locked in. I have some options even once I'm signed.
Absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely.
You'll tell us a little more?
Yes. So I wanted to give a first tip is for any employer, we're all in this together. We're all facing hard times. Myself as a business owner, like I said, things are changing around. I want you to know you're not in this alone and to be flexible at this time. The carriers are willing to work with you like any other financial institution out there, like your credit cards, like your car lease. The insurance carriers are actually working with you, and the Department of Insurance, the insurance commissioner, recommended the carriers, Kaiser, Blue Shield, allow you a 60-day grace period to pay your medical premiums. So obviously, give yourself some time, be flexible, and don't worry, your group will not terminate for late payments.
Okay, they won't terminate. So my employees will still be covered. I'll still be covered. And
Yes.
Meanwhile, I'll be able to get a little bit of reprieve from that billing. The monthly billing is what you're sharing.
Yes, your employees and their families will be covered with that 60-day grace period.
Okay, so I hear that as an opportunity, and a couple of the other industry experts have shared this too, on a way to help combat some of the loss in revenues is by lowering our expenses. So,
Yes. So that will lead me to my second tip. Stay calm and lower your expenses. Let's be realistic during this time. Obviously, again, medical insurance is very important, but so is our payroll and making payroll. So if you have to decide over payroll or medical benefits, I'm sure it's a no-brainer. So in this case, be flexible and realistic. If you cannot keep your benefits package. Obviously, for small groups, it wouldn't call it a luxury, but it is in some cases. For large groups, it's a little different over 50. But if you cannot keep your benefits package, don't worry. There's a few things we can do. So the carriers are actually offering a special enrollment period, an SEP, where you can make changes even outside of your renewal or your open enrollment. So during this time, you can have employees choose lower plans and make changes to their plan options. And this special enrollment period will go until June. Other options is to maybe drop your ancillary products. So when we say be realistic, if you can't keep medical, dental, and vision, maybe let your dental and vision go for this time. And then another option will be maybe stop 401k contributions at this time. We understand, everybody's facing hardships, and it's just prioritizing what's important to you at this time, in which I say, out of them all, medical is probably the most important to the employees and their families at this time.
And a paycheck.
And a paycheck.
Well, I heard you mention that. But you also, another key word that I heard you say is prioritizing. So I know as business owners, we're constantly, juggling and trying to, shift things and make it happen. And with everything, like you said, ever changing and constantly changing, once we shift into some of these categories or canceling and reassessing our expenses, are we then locked in for a certain period of time until we can restore it back to normal? Or how does that part work?
No, so we're in a hardship right now. So we can always change things once things get somewhat back to our new normal. So you're not locked in at this time. However, you give yourself a goal. If it's next open enrollment period, if it's the end of the year, once your financial situation changes, I think you can assess where you're at that time and make the necessary changes. And again, the carriers are flexible. Things are changing daily. So don't feel like you're locked in anything at this time.
Okay. All right. That's such a relief. That's a big relief, because that, and just for numbers, just for perspective, packaged employee benefit programs can be thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yes. So both. I've had the pleasure of working with both sides during this time. So I have my growing companies who are, they're constantly growing this time. You have some organizations who are, consider essential. And of course, they're hiring and retaining talent. And then you have those business owners who are cutting costs and furloughing. So employee benefits can range from anywhere. My smallest group can be $5,000 to $125,000 a month. So it definitely depends on your cost, your age, in some cases, and the employer contribution. Remember, in some cases, employers were paying 100%. In other cases, you might want to lower your contribution. If you want to keep it, pay 50% at the time. So that's something you want to work with your carriers during your special enrollment period outside of your renewal.
And what would the advice be for a company that maybe had a benefits package and, in robust times could afford it just fine, but now found themselves truly, truly in duress, and they wanted to explore the option of either lowering it or possibly canceling it, but they don't want to leave their employees without coverage? Do you have any recommendations for that?
Thank you for mentioning that. So obviously be realistic. If you have to cancel your benefits, please do so. But let's be proactive in doing so and not reactive. So there's different options for your employees. And I would say we would help them and assist them by letting them explore their options, whether it's COBRA, which obviously I don't suggest at this time. COBRA is very expensive. If you just canceled COBRA, you're going to pay, their employees are going to pay full premiums. So there's COBRA options, or there's individual options for those employees who qualify and meet the income guidelines. There's Cover California. So Cover California is the state exchange options. They may help them and their families pay for some of the cost of health insurance. Cover California is actually having open enrollment until the end of June as well. So your employees will still qualify based on open enrollment or a qualifying event, or there is individual options where they can kind of customize a package based on their family's needs. So I would say if you had to terminate, it's understandable. Let's just be proactive and communicating with our team and letting them know and educating them on their different options outside the employer-sponsored plans.
Oh, you're talking about educate our staff.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, I understand. Well, that's good to know. And that's a sense of relief too. So it sounds like that, you know, I love the optimism that you shared, that there are businesses that are thriving right now and doing well and under that essential services category. And then also for those of us that are, you know, maybe even split between some operations, and then others that have no unfortunate operations at this time, but that there are still ways to manage and kind of hold on to things and keep them as I'm going to use the word intact, but as intact as we can for right now. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's, you know, it's a time where everybody's worrying. We're all worried. Myself as a business owner personally, you know, we're worried, but do what you can to relieve yourself in areas that you can. And when it comes to employee benefits, just know there's a little bit of flexibility, and like the other institutions, your insurance carriers will work with you to make sure your needs are met, whether it's extending the grace period, the special enrollment, or actually helping you terminate coverage.
Okay, so I heard you say be flexible, or that the carriers are flexible with us.
Yes.
And be calm, and we could also reach out to resources like yourself, which, by the way, if you'll share with us your website or phone number or the best way to connect with you if we have other questions.
Absolutely. So you can visit me at www.nixconsultingla.com, and that's www.nix is spelled Nix as in X-ray, consultingla.com, or you can email me, kunya@nixconsultingla.com.
Thank you, Kunya. Thank you for that. Thank you for sharing all the knowledge.
Thank you for having me.
No, you're helping us pave the road to recovery. We need this right now. And I think the goal is to touch every segment of our business. So like I said, we had earlier conversations in the week about finances, other conversations about business planning and preparation, community organizations that are available out there to help us, and then now you to really, really touch the lives of the families that help us support and deliver our products and services with excellence. So thank you for that.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. And definitely, I'm working to change the lives of my business owners and their employees during time like this, whether it's employee benefits or just HR, human resources compliance. So I look forward to what's next, and, you know, we're in this together.
Thank you, Ms. Kunya. And for those of you that are joining us today, we appreciate your time and hope that you found this impactful and insightful. We hope that you'll subscribe to our channel for updates on additional information that we'll be sharing. And just as a reminder, just wanted to share with you that the information presented by our experts and discussed during these programs is for informational purposes only. It is not legal, tax, or financial advice of any kind. It's provided to you in kind as is, without warranty of any kind, either express or implied. And we thank you for joining us today, and we look forward to seeing you on our next episode on the road to recovery. Thank you.
Thank you, Rhonda.
Oh, you're welcome, Kunya. Thanks for coming.